I see Clock TV, they will bring you the most, sporty things. Everything that is related to the match today, will be bringing it to you. So just get ready. As Ghana is playing Sudan today, we'll bring you the feed live, the highlights, all the analysis. Yes, but of course, we are on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, so let's focus on Cocoa Digest. Good morning to you, our cherished viewers. You are welcome to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I am your host, Yayura Awuno. We're coming to you live from the studios of Clock TV. You can also catch us on GoTV channel 184. Then also, we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. So just look for Clock TV on any of these social media platforms and join in the conversation there. Send your comments to our live stream, our shout out, all your shout outs, everything that you want to send there. Okay, and also you can send your comments to our WhatsApp number that is also displayed on your screen, and we'll read them aloud here. Here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, we bring to you the most informative, educative and entertaining segments like business, finance, sports, entertainment, lifestyle, motivational quotes, in-depth discussions on policy issues to give you a well-rounded experience and set the tone for your day. Later in the show, Lifestyle will be talking about the football that the song that we even played. That should give you an idea of what's going to happen on the lifestyle segment with Miriam and her guest. Then also Business is going to be bringing you all that is in the business world. And then later in the show, the last part, that's the main discussion, we will be discussing breast cancer awareness. So stay tuned as we bring to you, of course, our most informative, educative and entertaining segments and topics here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. Next is our motivational quote with my co-hosts Miriam and Clement. So let us have our motivational quotes for the day. I have with me, like I said earlier, two of my co-hosts in the persons of Miss Miriam Abnadidi and Clement Yabankwe. Sorry. So hello guys, how are we doing?
It's also amazing, Yara. We are still in the football season. Let me say season, because today, seriously, we are all going to be at the Accra Sports Stadium, and no matter how it will go, we still love Black Star. Yes, and for me, I know we are going to win. Yes.
I like your faith.
I'm very sure.
I've given up.
We are going to win. Oh no, don't give up. Yeah,
me, I'm
don't
a
give up.
representative of the percentage of the Ghanaians that are scared.
Scared. Don't be.
We are shaking.
Really?
We've given up. We've laid down our weapons. It's fine.
Oh, but I mean, it is a good, feeling to be alive today, to witness, such a great match that is yet to happen today at 4 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium. We'll be bringing our viewers updates on that on the lifestyle segment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let us motivate our viewers before we start the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. Let's have our motivation for the day. So today's quote says, "Spread love everywhere you go, and let no one ever come to you without leaving happier." This is by Mother Teresa. So what I think this quote is trying to tell us is that as humans, our most basic instinct is survival. And one of the key things that helps us to survive is love. Is companionship, community. And as human beings, no matter wherever you find yourself, you're always surrounded by other people. And what best way to survive with them than to show them love? And even in showing love, it's not just about saying I love you and all those gimmicks, but rather sometimes an act of service, a gesture of kindness, giving even an ear, a listening ear sometimes even goes a long way to help somebody, to show them that love. Even sometimes just encouraging them with a good word or even a smile. Sometimes you're a pretty girl, some guy tries to say hello to you, you just smile at him and wave. It can make his day. You say, oh, a pretty girl smiled at me today. And these are some of the most basic things that as humans we need to do. And then also the part that says that let no one leave you without being happier, something along those lines, is always that Be the kind of person that people always think of whenever they are not in the highest of spirits, where they come to you and they know that you're going to share a word of encouragement or even just something funny to make them laugh or to make them smile, or even giving them a shoulder to lean on or a listening ear. Every time that someone thinks of you, be that kind of person that every time they think of you, they want to come close to you to share whatever problems they have in their lives. And then also, my co-hosts are here and they will be giving us their takes on this quote. Yes, let us hear you, please.
So Yara, first of all, happiness is a state of mind that viewers should understand. Happiness it doesn't come just by someone smiling at you. It doesn't just come by you seeing something that you are so excited of. It's a state of mind. Someone will smile at you and you still frown, and inwardly you are not happy. So happiness is a state where you tune yourself that no matter the circumstance around me, I will still maintain my positivity. I will still maintain my my joyful moment. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation, you realize that things are not going well, but your ability to remain happy within you determines that yes, this person is very strong. So as an individual, if you meet a colleague and you want to make sure that you are going to leave an ink in the person's life, that is an ink of happiness, just be able to understand the state of the person. If you're able to understand the state of your colleague, that is when you can leave an ink of happiness. But if you don't understand the state of the person, you end up smiling. Maybe the person is in a state that, frankly speaking, it doesn't need a smile. You end up giving the person a gift. The person doesn't need a gift at that point in time. You try to make sure the person is okay by being around them. That's not what the person needs. So in life, I believe that if you want to leave an ink of happiness in someone, try to know the state of the person. Get into the mind of the person. And when you do that, you are good to go.
Wow.
No, that's a very good angle.
Well, just to sum up, I also believe that this quote is a reminder to all of us that we all have a profound impact in each other's life or the people we encounter, their lives. And so we should always make sure that we are open to, whatever situations that people bring to us, that will be able to make meaningful contributions to them, so that people see us as a source of joy. Like we are an embodiment of joy. When I come to Yaira and I speak to Yaira, she should be able to leave me with something that will make me happy, or elevate that kind of problem, eliminate that problem in my life, sort of. So I also think we should keep reminding ourselves that you are not in this life alone. You are not living for yourself alone, but yet you are living for others. And so always have that reminder. I think it will also help us to, live peacefully.
Yes. And lastly, as humans, especially with our societies, we are always in need of community. And you realize that when somebody isolates, they are mostly depressed or the depression takes over. But you realize that sometimes when the depressed people are with community where there's love and support, they are most of the time able to come out of these things. And you remember last Tuesday's quote was also, we had some comments about having some people around you that can help you, especially when you fall and things like that. This is all rooted in love. And I'm sure even in our religions, they talk more about love. So as we go out today, let us remember to spread some love, share some kindness with somebody. You may not need to know the person to show them love. It could be a stranger, it could be a family member, a friend, a colleague, but always make sure to exude the love that you have within you. And of course, lastly, I would say that don't express this love with any intention or any expectations of reciprocity, but rather express that love. And of course, life would give you back that love one way or another. I hope you're inspired by this quote. And as you go about your day, meditate on it and share it with somebody as you share the love, of course. And then also the day will be beautiful for you as well. Next is the online and newspaper review with my co-host as always. We'll be right back for that.
Unclogged TV. Beyond the policy. Clog TV. Beyond the Policy.
You're welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, and we're about to have our online and newspaper review with two of my co-hosts. I'm sure you already know them by now, Miriam Abnadede and Clement Yabankwe. They were here for the motivational quote, so if you just tuned in, then yes, I'm introducing them again. Yes, hello, my lady and my gentleman.
Hello,
Yara.
Hey, Mimi. Oh, yes. When did you even enter this jersey?
Oh, so I placed an order.
Oh, I see.
I was waiting. I think they delayed a bit. So it just came in and I said, no, I'm not missing out on this opportunity because we are scoring Sudan. It is a 4-0 match for Ghana. So I mean,
okay.
I have
Black Stars.
I have to rep them.
As you can see, Black Stars, as you can see, they are repping you here. So if you disappoint, trouble.
I know, yeah, Mimi, I think she's the Vim no was ropa. Now, Sunny are cool to the man of pay. They should leave an ink of happiness. So, Mimi, tell the Black Stars that today they should leave an ink of happiness because if you don't, trust me, Stadium Media and trying that they're able to.
Oh, I trust them.
Also, Independence Square, so it's
very close.
We'll lay there and laugh. We have a quote. We have a comment from Obiba as usual. He says, "Hello, good morning. It is nice to see you again." Yes, and it is nice to receive your comment as well. Thank you so much. So yes, it is time for the online and newspaper review. So send in your comments, send in your news bits that you found to our WhatsApp number displayed on your screen, and of course also onto our YouTube and Facebook live stream. Join in the conversation here so that it will not just be the three of us, but you know, with you as well. Yes, trending lords. Today I've changed their name. What's up? What is going on the streets of Accra or in Ghana?
The streets of Accra and Ghana is heated. And it's all about this galamsey. There's one news I had early yesterday, and it's sad. It's all about the fight against galamsey. A community in the Wasai East District, that's Western region, known as Central Krobo. Yesterday, early morning, the youth decided to go on peaceful demonstration because Chinese people are taking over the lands and the water bodies to mine. That is specifically River Pra. So it's totally polluted. That's the only source of water they have. And as a result of this demonstration, they confronted the Chinese in their place of work, and they asked them that they should halt all activity and pack to their country because they are destroying the water bodies. And the peaceful demonstration turned into a chaotic season when the bodyguards of the Chinese company fired an arm and they shot 2 youths of Central Krobo. And currently, they are at the hospital, Ahmadiyya Hospital at the Boise receiving treatment. So it has left the town of Central Krobo quite chaotic because they're also saying they will not allow the Chinese people to continue the illegal activities in that community. So that is. So,
you know, with what you're saying, there's this photo going around, and it has a picture of an Asian man, probably Chinese or one of, and it says here, so there are captions on it, and I'll try to read some. So it says, "Fix your minds before fixing the country." Some, but most Ghanaians. Okay, let me not read that. So this one says, the words of the Chinese ambassador, Mr. Shi Ting Wang to Ghana says, number 1, no Chinese knows the location of Ghana's mining communities or reserves. It is Ghanaians that introduce them to the trade. 2, China does not issue visas for Chinese coming to Ghana. It is Ghana that issues the visas. Then 3, why are Chinese not doing illegal mining in South Africa where there is also a lot of gold? Because their locals do not support such illegalities. Then the fourth one says the Chinese government will not tolerate any of its nationals involved in illegalities in another country. Then the conclusion was that Ghana must be blamed for the rise of illegal mining in Ghana and the bad nature of our water bodies. So people see Galamsey as an investment venture and then go and get foreign direct investment to our detriment.
So, Yara, when you listen to what the Chinese ambassador writes, is saying, indirectly, if I'm not sorry for my words, he has seen Ghana as, I don't know the right way to use, but he sees us to be like we are behaving like a child.
Well,
Because per what he's saying, he has even observed that in South Africa you can't do this. In China you can't do this. And he has also observed that before a Chinese man will come to Ghana, it is the Ghana, yes, they are those who give the visa to them. So if you know all these things, why then do you allow the Chinese to come to wherever community they find themselves in?
But he's simply the ambassador, right?
Yes.
You cannot exactly restrict movement of people. You cannot also stop them from doing business. Right now that, yes, we've seen that it is illegal, then steps can be taken. But maybe his powers as an ambassador are limited because he's here for the welfare of Chinese in Ghana. You know, he's a representative of China to Ghana. So maybe what he can do is to tell them to stop and there is. But if the people, it's as though I've come to your home and you've given me free range to live as though I am the owner of the house. Who can stop me from doing whatever I want?
Yes, so that's what I'm trying to say that.
So it has to start from us.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say that indirectly we are still in that colonization. We are still being colonized by other people or
And
other
we are
countries.
allowing it.
Yes.
But you know, like I always say, I said at this point, I sound like a broken record, but correct me if I'm wrong. It is all stemming from our standard of living. The poverty levels are so high that people are so money crazed. Everybody wants to survive to the point where they are bringing in foreign nationals. I mean, there's the greed side where these are people who have money. They're wealthy people and they can employ a few people, pay them some peanuts. And these people are scrambling for these peanuts because they have no other means of livelihood. You see, so it is a very, like I think I was saying the other time, that if we are going to even stop Galamsey, we need to find an alternative, a source of livelihood for these people involved in these things, because they are dying. They are going through so many health problems that we may not be aware of, but because of the no fuel they will get to eat, they are still engaging in such.
But yeah, I'm surprised, a bit surprised to hear the ambassador say these things that you just read, because I mean, you clearly said he's a rep of Chinese. He's here to just represent the Chinese citizens in Ghana. But you said if someone visits your home and then takes control, you can't really control the person.
So if someone comes to your home and you give the person free range, authority over your home, like, you know, the home is theirs, who is going to stop them if not me?
So currently we are battling illegal mining in the country, right? So I was expecting him as a leader of such a force to say something, not to, you know, incite some kind of force or agitation on the part of Ghanaians against his people, so that we can live peacefully. But on the side of the Chinese attacking our people who intended to protest, I think they didn't really do well.
That is what brings me back to the analogy I gave, that they have been given such free range, and apparently even these illegal miners and things, they have guards. So sometimes our police or our security agencies or officials that go, they are attacked.
Yeah. And you know, for some time, when we mention illegal mining in Ghana, it is the Chinese that we affiliate them to illegal mining. So this issue has been happening not today.
Yes.
We were in this country when Aisha was arrested and, you know, convicted. But I think the treatment that was given to our people should be taken seriously, because it shouldn't be done. You can't go to China and
do
then
this in another country.
No. You can't do that. I don't think they really treated our people well. It was a peaceful protest, and so why should you attack our people?
Yeah. And then also, I even heard some sort of rumors or stories about something about this illegal mining relating to Chinese people. And then when they were going to be convicted, apparently the Chinese people involved had died and been cremated. Those kinds of silly kinds of stories that just to prevent them from being prosecuted in the right way, somehow they got away or something. And then the story that came out was that they are dead. And if we Ghanaians are doing this just because we want to find something to eat, on one hand, it is understandable, but to what end? Because if you are making this money and now you and your family are spending it in the hospital, what use is it then?
Yeah, right. I think what the ambassador said, we are not here to discuss that very thing. But let me say last thing before we move into a different story. What the ambassador said is trying to point to the major cause of this illegal mining, where the Chinese people are involving themselves. That is the point he's trying to make. That Ghanaians should look at this avenue, this avenue, this avenue. And when you do that, you are going to stop the Chinese people, as you claim, they are involving in illegal mining. So he thinks that before you give a Chinese person a visa to Ghana, look into what he's coming to do critically. Before a Chinese man will go to, let's say, Ashanti that he wants to go mine, he goes to the chiefs, he goes to the assemblyman, he goes to all these people. He's trying to tell them that don't give them the access to your land. If you fail and if you don't give them access to your land, they will not get any place to mine.
Yeah.
But here's the case that when they come, as you said, we accept them. And they also use that avenue to just maneuver their ways through and destroy everything.
What you are saying, there are people that will say, oh, come to me. I know how we will get around these chiefs. They say, no, don't worry. You know that, what word can I use? Let me use connection man. Yes. They will say, oh, they can link them. The chiefs have said, nothing, don't do it, but I will send you there. Don't worry, I got you. That is what goes on here in Ghana. And then also is the fact that there's power play. The money, the people holding the money hold so much power against these people. So yes, they know, like the attacks on our own people who were protesting, because they know they have the money and the arms, they are able to attack our people. Our people don't have that to be able to combat it. So we are in, is it a rat race at this point?
Well,
anyway.
Well, Yaira, we'll still come back to
Galamsey. Oh, as usual.
Because
there are more stories
what
on
I want
it.
to talk about, it is linked to that. You know, the famous organized labor strike, Brouhaha, has been trending for some time. And yesterday, it trended even more. And it's still trending as organized labor called off its intended strike, which was supposed to start today. And it has brought a lot of controversies online. I know we'll delve into that in our online stories. That is what is happening today. And aside that, today happens to be World Mental Health Day.
Okay.
It is a day set aside to appreciate people, you know, in that state.
Yeah.
And the theme for this year is prioritizing workplace mental health. And we all know that we spend most of our time at work. And so it could either make or unmake us. The kind of stress we face at work will either make or unmake us. And so as part of the voices on creating the awareness, I just want to say that we should all create a conducive environment at our various workplaces so that we can work in harmony and not, you know, harm people with our, you know, toxic behaviors and unacceptable ways of living. We should have that kind of family system at our workplaces, and we'll all have that sound mental health.
And even as we talked about love today, let us show our colleagues some love. We are not in competition. We are here to drive our organization, move it forward. So show some love to your colleagues. If someone has stepped on your toe, forgive them. If you have anything to say it with decorum and tact, and communicate properly and show some love as you go about in your organization.
And those that we forgive, they should be willing to accept the forgiveness. Because if I forgive you and you don't forgive me or accept my forgiveness, it is still the same thing.
Yes. The only thing I would say is in mental health, it's not only about people who are, sorry to say, who have issues with their mental, but it's about your kind of words you use. You see, for someone like me, I'm very emotional to your words you use on me. Yes, I'm that type of people. So if you use some words that doesn't sound good to me, it affects me totally.
Yeah.
So in the workplace, try to know whom you associate yourself with. The words you are using on the person, try to judge it. You, if someone uses on you, will you be happy? If not, don't use on your colleague, and we are good to go. That's the only thing I would say.
And then, as you mentioned, workplace. So employers should also strive to find out how best to improve the conditions of service for their employees. Because it contributes greatly to their mental health. Even the infrastructure you use, how much, time you spend there. If you are sitting in a chair that is not comfortable, you will get body pains, and then it starts to affect your mental health as well. So it is a cycle. So employers, please, conditions of service, improve it for your employees, to help with their mental health. Yes. So we have a few comments. Our very own Obiba Wilson says, good morning, Yaira. I hope you are doing great. Yes, we are well here. Thank you. He says, I love your motivational quotes because it aligns with my life principles. I always try to make people around me happy. Life itself is complicated, so let us try to make things easy for ourselves, and God will bless us. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful comment. We also have Video Master's Office saying good morning. Good morning to you. D&J Venture says good morning, Clock TV, and good morning to you. Then Rose Entertainment says good morning to you all. Sorry. I'm Charles, watching you from Dubai. Good morning to you. Now, Rose Entertainment is asking, what is the update on the strike? We will get to that shortly. So let's hold our horses. We'll get there soon. What else is trending, please? Jersey Madam, come and tell us about the football.
So, as you all know, we are still on the road to AFCON 2025 qualifiers, and Ghana happens to be one of the countries playing. And in our team, we are placed third on the chart because we were not able to beat Angola. And also, I think we are yet to meet Sudan today, but Sudan happens to be the second on the chart. And we are third, and then Niger is fourth. So we are meeting Sudan today at the Accra Sports Stadium at 4 p.m. to have a very hot match. I term this match very critical because we lost one match and then we had a draw. So I'm just hoping that we'll be able to win this one because it is all about winning. If we don't win, and then even with a draw, I don't think it will help us. Yeah. So
the calculator will not function.
No. Hey, Ghanaians can calculate too. Hey.
I think the last time Ghana had a match, I know somebody who plays the bet. He had so much faith in them.
And there are so many.
And his fault is bet. So me, that's why I said I'm giving up on Black Stars.
Oh, don't give up. Because even with this team, there's a change. There are some key players that have been taken out, and then they are trying the young ones. And so we are hoping that, there will be changes. But there's a tension somewhere because our former coach, Kwesi Appiah, is the coach for the team we are playing today. And that team has not lost any match yet. So people are scared that our coach might give, Sudan all the tricks and tactics they need to know about Ghana, and then
if he betrays Ghana like that, we'll prosecute him for treason because why would you do?
He's accepting better salary.
No, that's his work, and nobody wants to fail in the work of business.
Don't give him the things that this is your home country. So out here.
But I think lifestyle will bring us details because we'll have the sports so details will be there.
So one thing I also saw online was about the strike, the organized labor strike, and I think apparently one of the heads of GIHOC Distilleries issued a threat that any employee that engages in the strike will be sacked.
And
then I think GMET, Ghana Meteorological Agency, also said they were not participating. Even the Ghana Medical Association also. And for the pharmaceuticals too, it's like, But my attention was more on the GIHOC Distilleries because...
He was sacked.
First of all, it is a civil right, and you are part of this organization, and they say that just because it is not something the employer has the right to do.
So I listened to his
Okay.
video, and I think from what he said, he said there are labor laws that guide our work as well. And so as a union, you cannot just get up and say you're embarking on a general strike because it is affecting the nation. Like, that was his explanation. He said it is we as a union, we are independent, right? But when we come together, we form the organized labor. So we also have our rules, we also have our laws. And so you can't just get out of the union and say you're joining a generalized strike. Like, so from
Then
what he said,
what would constitute
so from what he said shows that, you know, at the top, they did not, you know, conclude on the strike as a union or organized labor coming together to agree on the strike. So that's my take from what he said.
But the threat to the employees.
Maybe he felt saying that
You can't do this. You can't. It is not something you. Okay, well, Ghana, but in other countries, do you think, even in the US, do you think someone can come, an owner of a company, the labor union, the labor laws work there. If you come and issue that kind of threat, they might even, the union can actually go on some sort of, I don't want to call it protest, in a way that they can call for an impeachment of you being the leaders, the board members, and things like that.
So, Yara, it's easy. This organized labor issue, even before the start, other unions were not in support of what organized labor was going to do. When organized labor on Wednesday said this, and on Wednesday or Tuesday, they still insist of going on strike. Other unions were like, no, we will not go on strike. To an extent that as at yesterday, Wednesday, GMA, Ghana Medical Association, issued a statement that they are not going on strike. Other union also came out and said that they are also going on strike. So you could see that even before organized labor took a decision that today they are suspending all strike or any other thing, various unions within them were not even in support of what organized labor was going to do. So you can see that I sense that there is some kind of division among the organized labor to an extent that how would you come and say that if a worker should participate in the strike, you are going to sack the person? How would you do that? But you see, Yara, before I think we are just delving into the first story. So in line with the first story, UTAG still insists that they are going on strike. They had election that was yesterday night, very late, around 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And their communique out right now states that for them, they are going on indefinite strike. Yes, organized labor has taken their decision that strike is suspended. But for UTAG, they are telling all members in the 15 universities in Ghana that they didn't go to work until the government officially releases a statement that yes, we are going to ban all illegal activities. And I think the stand of UTAG, one way or the other, it's a good one. One way or the other too, I think it might equally affect the students because the whole issue is GRASAC, that is Graduate Students Association of Ghana. They are also embarking on a protest, God willing, tomorrow with the Catholic bishop. They've issued a statement that officially they are joining the Catholic bishop tomorrow to embark on this protest that is against illegal mining. They are of the view that the waters that the university students use in the various campuses is through Ghana Water Company Limited. So if the water bodies are being polluted, meaning that the waters they are using in the various hostels, in the various campuses are also equally polluted. So government should do something about it as soon as possible. And GRASAC is the youth. So if, for example, organized labor has suspended a strike action, trust me, the youth can stand. Because if GRASAC is now awakening the youth spirit, they should see what would happen next.
Well, I'm glad the youth spirit is awakening because our forefathers, the nationalist movements and things to gain independence, was all through these kinds of things, standing against the powers that be. And you know, for the Ghana Medical Association not being interested in the strike, it kind of baffles me because this strike was more to, should I even call it a threat? More like a way to put some pressure on our government to start taking action. Because like you said, the students are the ones, you know, like GRASAC, one of the reasons for GRASAC's strike or their protest is that the students use the waters there. Now, this is like everything in this Ghana here is now a cycle because these students are going to, you send your ward to school, they go, they get, sick because of these kinds of waters. And who is going to attend to them? Ghana Medical Association, members of the Ghana Medical Association, members of the Pharmaceutical Association, because they are the ones providing healthcare. And if you don't want to stand that, because we probably, like we said the other day, we don't have enough facilities for a galamsey water pandemic or endemic here in Ghana. We don't. And already they are attending to people who are already even afflicted by some of these things already in the remote areas where these things are happening. But we forget that Accra is one of the biggest hubs of business. Accra is one of the places where a lot of the things, food stuff, waters, everything, it comes here. So all these things, these rivers, these waters that we are using, our water companies and the rest, what water are they using to give us our drinking water, our pure water, our bottled water? I don't want to mention any brands, but what waters, all of these things are happening here in Accra. And if, some people were even saying that the thing is not going on here, why are we protesting here in Accra? At the end of the day, to come here. And this is the place where we have the most hospitals, we have most of the things, because this is the capital. And if we don't take care and it lands here, what happens to us?
That is the issue. But Yaira, you see, I would also say I am part of the disappointed Ghanaians who, seriously, we are disappointed in organized labor for, calling off the strike. Amidst all the division that was happening, I believe they should have, gone on with the strike, maybe for a few days, like 3 days or a week.
Okay, well, according to them, they had a meeting with the government, and then the government had outlined certain measures they were going to put in place. So if you've been told that we are going to do so and so, the operation is called Operation Halt.
Yes.
So they've even given it a name. I think the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources has been given a directive to issue an MOU about the revocation of the LI 2462 and things like that. So now leaders of the organized labor are saying, okay, the government has said they will do this. So let us
you see, Ira, where the controversy is sparking from Professor Jampo, who was also part of the meeting yesterday. He made mention of the fact that they did not even conclude on the issue before they started, reading what they think reading what they think governments should do or their conclusion on the issue. So yesterday at the meeting, he made mention of the fact that, yes, according to the General Secretary of TUC, he said government has issued the Lands Minister to issue something to the Parliament for the revocation of the LI, and also aside the deployment of military men to all mining sectors, they are going to make sure that they open about 14 courts to be hearing cases on illegal mining. These are all issues that, we know government is doing something about it. But according to him, he believes that they should have still embarked on the strike to show that they were serious about the whole issue, right? Instead of calling it off, because they did not take the conclusion or the minds of the other unions before. Because according to him, he made mention that they already had a letter to read out to the people at the meeting that was supposed to come together and share ideas. There was an already prepared letter. That's according to Professor Jampo. So that was his also claim on the issue.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are disappointed in organized labor but it's multifaceted. If you are holding my neck that you want money, you want money, and I tell you, okay, I will get some money probably by the end of this week. Will you continue holding my neck? You will probably calm down a little. So they mentioned they mentioned that they are keeping close watch on the government's initiatives being taken in. If they don't, follow up, then they will strike again. They would come up again. And I just hope that the government does not end up making them look like toothless bulldogs or something. And I think I saw a picture online, some allegations. I don't know how true it is. I didn't get the chance to. Something about some monies were paid to certain unions.
So yeah, right. That's false. That's false allegation.
False.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's leave that story. Let's get into the reason why organized labor just withdraw from this strike action. It was as a result the president accepted to do what they presented before him, and this is what he says. That's a press release yesterday. It says, one, deployment of additional military personnel. That's the president has directed the Minister for Defense to deploy additional military forces to intensify the ongoing Operation HOT, which aims to curb illegal mining activities. This operation will be boosted by the deployment of naval boats on polluted river bodies to ensure the immediate cessation of all mineral mining activities, legal or illegal. So that's the word. He said legal or illegal in and around these water bodies. The second thing is suspension of mining in forest reserve. So that is revocation of the LI 2462. The last one is strengthening prosecution of illegal mining cases in a bid to enhance legal actions against illegal mining activities. For dedicated courts have already been established. The president has further directed the Attorney General to work with them. So organized labor actually presented 3 conditions, as we all know. The revocation of LI 2462, that is deployment of military or the security agencies to the various forest reserve. The last one was a state of emergency. I think that's one the president needs to look through it before. Yeah, the last time we discussed the impact of state of emergency. So looking at all this, I think this is the reason why organized labor decided to suspend its strike action. But as you said, they said they are going to take a close look at this. If government fails to implement all these 3 things lined out, then they would spark again. So I think, yes, we intended going on strike. Now, what we wanted, government said is going to do for us. So why don't we observe it from afar to see if really government is going to do what we have requested for? If he fails with that one, no matter the union who comes out to say that you don't agree with organized labor, we will all step in and we say, yes, we'll go on strike if government fails this.
A part of the organized labor is still embarking on a strike.
Yes, UTAG.
Let's say, assume that government is not able to meet their expectations and then they intend to embark on a strike again. Do you think the other unions are going to take them serious, or even Ghanaians in general?
Well, it can even cause a bigger outrage because you gave us the impression that you are going to start solving the issue. Every day we are hearing about these monies, loans and grants and things, because I think recently Saudi Arabia gave some money to our Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources about getting our affairs in order with regards to our forests and preserving them. We are always hearing about some money being dispatched for something, some loan granted and the rest. Then you come out, like you said, based on your analogy, that you are not able to solve galamsey in this country. No. So it might even make things worse because we've given you a number of chances and you've still failed. No, we won't allow it. So now if the organized labor or all the unions come up and they are even more outraged, the youth, all the people in the country are more outraged this time, the effects may be way more drastic than the initial ones, which might force them to resolve to probably other means that may not favor them, because from the looks of things too, it seems like it has to be somehow convenient in a way. This time they are going to make them very, very uncomfortable that they have to fix this issue or they will not have peace. The country too will not move forward.
Okay, so on the other hand, those involved in the illegal mining activities are also protesting. Yesterday I saw a video of some community members protesting against the, stop of illegal mining in some communities.
And the reason is?
They are saying that is their source of livelihood. I even saw a video of a young guy, videoing himself saying that these are his tools in his house. How does government expect him to, eat or survive? If they don't call them back to their sites, he's going to stand by the roadside and rob people.
Oh, he can go ahead and do that because we are talking about a bigger impact on the nation, and you are talking about your individual selfish interest. No, let's be so real and talk about the issue as it is. We are talking about issue that is going to affect over 38 million of citizens in Ghana, and you are talking about a community protesting of illegal mining because it's a source of livelihood to you. No, that is not true. That should be that shouldn't be the argument for today. That should be the basis for today.
That they are also part of this country. They make up the over 38 million.
You see, automatically, you don't get everybody to support your idea. You don't get everybody to support what you want to push out for.
But this is what they've been doing for some time now. So
it's very much like, let's scrap Clock TV. where will you get you to your daily bread?
So
That's where
no.
you see
that talk of even scrapping Clock TV will not come in the first place. Let's put that one aside. Assuming this illegal mining, I'm involved and I'm doing something I know what I'm doing is wrong, and they are telling me that they are going to halt activities of illegal mining, but they are going to put measures in place to make sure that the activity is not going to affect other people. I would wait patiently.
Yes,
I would wait patiently.
In that waiting, you know, there are some people who eat hand to mouth. It's daily bread. Literally, whatever money they get today is what will feed them today. Tomorrow will take care of itself. So people like that can be desperate, and I'm not defending him because I do not support any of the things the guy said at all. But let's be realistic. Look at the unemployment rate in the country. Debia, we hear ejuma niho, and then these people feel like kakra ye So
Yaira, if these young ones are saying that, then those big men who are also involved will say that is their source of livelihood.
Then they too can also argue that they've created jobs for people. But we need to be more realistic about this thing. So if we are removing them, we need to find something for them to do.
You know, this whole
or some relief.
This whole halt on illegal mining came out like a surprise. Let me put it that way, because government, from where I sit, I think they did not plan on, halting it immediately like what we are experiencing now.
It's because we're in election year.
But then I think also it's because our water bodies, the pollution level has increased to a point where it is alarming.
And it will surprise you that those protesting are, let me say, illiterate. They don't really know the impact what they are doing is having on the general our health and other things.
A lot of humans are generally selfish and inward looking. They are looking at what they will get, their school fees they will go and pay. They're not thinking about
I think some sort of education, intensive education should be, done so that they understand the reason why we are halting their activities.
But with the education, if let's say the government or we get some loan or something to help embark on this education thing, there should also be some sort of relief packages added, so that if you gather all of them
now,
and teach
we don't
them,
have the relief. Before they joined Galamsey, I presume they were doing something. Seriously,
I'm shocked. I'm shocked we are making this conversation because the thing is wrong. Let's call it spade a spade. This thing is wrong. Let's stop it.
Ojaya then wobeye.
Tinafia kakra. But I'm the yama better to call mama. Farming can do farming.
Farming, the land they've destroyed the land. What are you?
Who destroyed the land? You destroyed the land yourself. So we shouldn't even look at that.
It's just this vicious cycle we are in. So we have a comment here. It says it is only military rule that can solve the problems of Galamsey. This is Stone from Tamale. Stone, I kid you not, it will not solve it. It will just be human rights abuse. Because we've seen it in a lot of countries, military rule. Even here in Ghana, there was military rule, and there's a whole generation of Ghanaians that when a certain, let me just use, when our late President Rawlings' name is mentioned, it leaves a bitter taste in their mouth because of what they went through, the AFRC 1 and 2. And even before him, I think the other one, is it Generally Free Far? We had military rule here in Ghana, and we don't have a lot of good
they should
reports.
Bring it back.
Seriously,
they should. The state of indiscipline in this country is too high. They should bring it back. We will all be disciplined. For 4 years.
4 years. You will be surprised.
Mimi,
maybe.
Let's just stick to our second story. Yara, can we go to the second story?
Okay, we have another comment. This one is also from Obiba. He says, please let Clement mention at least 5 current Black Stars players' names and their coach.
But easy, Yara. Obiba, one day I'll tell you something. Obiba is celebrating his birthday just next week, somewhere next week.
Wow.
Yes.
And send his picture so we celebrate him.
Yes, I'll do that. So the first Black Star player will be Obiba. He play ball.
Okay. Let's go quickly into your stories now.
So Yara, I think my story, we've already said everything. So let's just move straight into yours. Yes, I have.
Okay, so as for one last thing about the organized labor too was that the government has also sought their opinion, or they should nominate people they think will be fit to put onto the committee to handle the Galamsey issue. So we are hoping that they find trustworthy, illustrious people.
Hey, It is
well, the second
as
story.
someone said we are fighting principalities.
So I think the second story, Mimi, you've touched on it. That is, President Akufo-Addo orders Defense Minister to deploy more military forces. You've already spoken about that, right?
Yeah.
So yes, so more naval boats and all that. Okay, so the last story here, effects of Galamsey. So now, doomsday imminent in Konongo as Galamseyers invade Great Coast site within northern Ashanti mines. So illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey in Konongo Ashanti region, is posing a serious threat to power supply in parts of the Ashanti and eastern regions. The illegal miners have invaded the northern Ashanti mines concessions where Great Coast substations pylons are located, putting critical infrastructure at risk. A Great Coast substation situated within the operational area of northern Ashanti mines is now under threat due to ongoing Galamsey activities which have compromised several pylons. The situation raises the possibility of power outages affecting the Konongo township and surrounding communities. At this point, it is beginning to look like these Galamseyers, they are acting as though, is it that the metals have started working in their brains? Because power plant, Gridco, what are you looking for there?
Yaira?
We even had the roadside one. By the road, do you want to destroy the road because you want gold and bauxite and whatnot?
I would still blame them. It's not their fault. Because it's this same Konongo, that's where we got to understand that there was illegal mining going on by the roadside. This same Konongo.
Yes.
And this same Konongo is where they are mining also close to Grico station.
Yes.
So the question is, what are the leaders of Konongo doing? What is DC doing? Because if Minerals Commission have reported to the District Chief Executive, if Minerals Commission have reported to District Chief Executive, and you are aware of this, not today, not yesterday, you are aware. So then we are next is more attack Grico. You are telling us that in no time Konongo will have a power outage of and I don't know, maybe.
So the roadside one, what would they do when they've worked their way and then the road caves in now? And people cannot use it. What would
we hope the DC say, or the car first will not say, why you be on phone, he will come back to work on it. Because
the other day, the Minerals Commission, the head or so, was saying that they are not the ones supposed to handle. They report to the security agencies to handle these things. So if they are not handling it in the adequate way, they have done their part by reporting the issue. So it is up to the agencies now, the security agencies. If they are not doing their work, because it is frustrating, and it is worrying. What is worrying me is the Galamseyers themselves. As you are mining by the roadside, if the road caves in or something happens, now accidents, cars are not even able to navigate on that road. What do they think is going to happen?
Say Sanka like they don't even pollute the water in the first place. So that, as we said, they want money for their daily bread. So if they really care about the effects,
daily bread is going to start killing all of us.
That's why organized labor was in line that government should halt all activity. But people within organized labor were not in support of what organized labor is doing. So Yaira,
they have to advise themselves.
Exactly.
Because
they need to advise them. They need to
don't worry.
They need to advise themselves.
I'm sure they will even if they get to go and mine in the sea. Like
where? They said they are talking about money. It's not water bodies. They want money, so we'll buy generators. Don't worry. We'll buy generators.
This whole thing, the root cause, it is so far away from Galamsey that even when we decide to go and start from the root cause, by the time we get to Galamsey, we are all dead in the country. Because it starts from education, employment, then our standard of living. This is where it begins from. And if we start building the schools now, come on. But we have another comment. We have another comment here. It says, Mr. Kwe and beautiful panels. Galamsey boys and workers can't wait for months for all Ghanaians to be safe in our health. There have been unemployed graduates at home for many years, so they can sacrifice their work for a moment for us to all be safer. This is from Neodigni Atukwe from Accra. Thank you for your comment. It's not all of them that can wait. Let's be honest.
Yeah, right. They can wait. We have
I mean, I hear it is a very lucrative business, so maybe they are making a lot of money. So what can we even do?
So are they saying, since we started crying, that let's stop illegal money? They didn't hear about 2 months ago. They didn't hear to start saving
you are
some
now
money.
coming to protest.
But the other thing too about business ventures is that maybe Mimi, you're a makeup artist, I sew or something. Then Clement wants to start. He will ask both of us, which one, who makes more money? Which one goes faster? Which one gets more? So maybe they know that they should start looking to other alternatives, but they are like, the money won't be quick and plenty like the Galamsey, so they are not interested. There's also that aspect we need to also think about. But this issue,
this issue, yeah,
I
shouldn't even.
Imagine how the government is feeling, because
he had.
And then I remember, about the organized labor again. The government has also assigned a number of courts to be dealing solely with the Galamsey issues as well. So I think it is all why our organized labor seem to, they've loosened the leash a little. Yes, but we hope they hold on to it.
Yes,
it shouldn't just be about the courts. It should also be about the people we persecute. It shouldn't be those at the tip or the tail.
It should be the ones handling
the financiers, those people.
So they are the ones they are supposed to tackle.
I think now the Galamseyers themselves, there should be, an incentive for them to be able to be the whistleblowers as to who is the head
cushioning them.
Yes. Who is investing? If we can incentivize them, it will work.
Yeah, right. We have all the information on the desk. The then committee set on fight against Galamsey brought a lot of information on the desk. Recently, I know Fourth Estate expose on Galamsey brought a lot of information on the desk. Why you just look into all these things? Even in the various communities, like what Minerals Commission is saying, he has reported an illegal activity just behind a police station at Enyinam. From Minerals Commission, what are they doing? Should you go have another incentive package for people to come and now? No, I think we already have the information, so government should just work on it. But I would like to say one funny thing, and we just end it here. Is when organized labor started all these things, people were saying it's political agenda, and people in the party A were saying that party B is the one fueling organized labor to do this. So my question is, since organized labor has suspended the strike, does it mean now party A has now fueled organized labor more than party B? So why do we?
Someone may come out with that.
It's wrong. Why do we make everything in this country look like political? It looks so political and it's wrong.
But what I'm talking about in terms of the incentive is like, you see the police station thing like this. I'm sure the illegal mining that was going on there has a probable head that is investing in that. And when the police probably went to, enforce law and order there, somebody, gave them no curfew. So I'm saying if we incentivize the people partaking in the illegal mine, the workers, that can you give us who your boss is? And let's find, so that the prosecution will start there. Now, if your boss, the one paying you, has been arrested, you run away. We won't continue. We won't continue that job.
It will be hard.
But the boss might not even be the boss.
That's the word.
So if we are able to trace, contact tracing, we have a video from organized labor's interaction with the government from yesterday. So if our producers can please display that for us.
I wanted to hear this afternoon to let you know our decision from this meeting. On Tuesday, October 1st, 2024, organized labor declared a nationwide strike with effect from October 10th, 2024. This followed the failure of government to address our demands to halt illegal mining in and around river bodies and forest reserves, as outlined in our press statement on October 11, 2024. Subsequently, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, met with the leadership of organized labor on October 3, 2024. At that meeting, government offered a series of measures it intended to implement as part of efforts to to combat the menace of illegal mining in the country. At a meeting of organized labor on October 7th, 2024, the meeting resolved that the measures announced by government were not adequate in addressing our demands and stopping the dangers posed by illegal mining. We therefore affirmed the strike notice and informed the government accordingly. Yesterday, October 8, 2024, the government team met with the leadership of organized labor and Ghana Employers Association. The meeting discussed at length organized labor's response to the earlier measures announced by government. Following this meeting, government offered enhanced and time-bound measures in respect of our demands and the fight against illegal mining. These measures include: 1, the revocation of the environmental protection, that's the mining in forest reserves, Regulations 2022, LI 2642. His Excellency the President has directed the Minister responsible for lands and natural resources to submit a memorandum for the revocation of the LI to Parliament when it reconvenes on Tuesday, October 15, 2024. The redeployment of the military and other law enforcement agencies to flush out illegal miners from water bodies and forest reserves. The military is now supporting the forest guards of the Forestry Commission to protect the forest reserves from destruction by illegal miners and loggers. Government, working with the judiciary, has already established 14 dedicated courts, 7 high courts, and 7 circuit courts to handle illegal mining cases. Collaboration with the organized labor and other stakeholders to fight illegal mining, government has asked organized labor to nominate representatives to be part of the stakeholders committee to fight illegal mining in the country. 5, government supports the call by organized labor for all president candidates to sign a pact committing to the fight against illegal mining. 6, government affirmed its commitment to engage with stakeholders, including organized labor and the Ghana Employers Association, to bring an end to illegal mining in Ghana. These are significant concessions that organized labor demands and threats have forced government to make towards combating illegal mining, that's Galamsey, in Ghana. Comrades, organized labor has therefore decided to suspend the internal strike action. We are calling all workers to report for work on 10th of October 2024 and beyond. Organized labor will keenly monitor the implementation of these measures which government has made, and government will hear from us if it fails to do the needful.
So we heard from organized labor, we've heard their stance on this. So please, those disappointed, please don't be too disappointed. Let's give our government some space to do this, because the issue, you don't even know where to start tackling it from, and it may take a while. That notwithstanding does not mean that the government too should slack in their, finding a way to curb this issue. Those involved, please think about the nation, think about the lives, think about posterity, and stop investing in illegal mining. Do we have any more stories?
The last thing I would say is the General Secretary in his ending statement, he said, if government fails to implement the measures, government will hear from them. That's the only thing I'm interested. Yes.
Of course, they will hear from us, because this is our life, this is our resources, and this is our home. Like we were saying the other day, we have nowhere else to go. We cannot be refugees in another nation, and I think we need to quickly do something about this before this starts affecting our foreign policy towards Togo, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire, because these rivers also flow there. If they are starting to get affected by this, I'm sure they are by now.
Yeah.
If it becomes an issue of emergency in their countries too, we are the ones who are at fault. It may start brewing a whole different thing, and we have always, I think when we were younger, there used to be this thing that if, with learning French, if the Francophone countries around us invade Ghana, what do we do? It was a way to help us learn French. Now, if they are angry with us that we are giving them polluted water, if they band together, 3 Francophone countries, what do you think will happen to Ghana? So please, let us be mindful and let us start taking action towards illegal mining around water bodies, around water reserves, and even our forests as well. Illegal mining in general. So this brings us to the end of our online and newspaper review. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for joining in. And of course, as always, it is a refreshing conversation with both of you. Next is the lifestyle segment, and they are going to be bringing us the sports highlights. Match day is today with Miriam and her guests. So stay tuned. Right after this break, she will be here with her guests for us.
Clog TV. Beyond the Policy.
Today, and we can't wait. I mean, from the song you just watched, which is Kudis Day by Kweku Flick and Small God, we are gearing towards today's match. We are meeting with Sudan at 4 p.m. at the Accra Sports Stadium, and it's all about the road or the journey to AFCON 2025. We are coming to look at the challenges and the hopes here on the lifestyle segment. I am Miriam Abena Adede. I welcome you back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. Now, we all know how passionate Ghanaians are about football, and so there's no way we can't have this morning show without having this conversation because of the match that is happening today at the Accra Sports Stadium. And I'm doing this conversation with our very own sports journalist and also the host 4 O'Clock Sports, Nanaya Asari. He's inside here with me in the studio. And in the course of the conversation, we also have a phone-in session with former Kotoko player Eric Bequin, who happens to be the assistant coach for the under-19 male team. We also have him on the line to share his insights in the performances of the Black Stars so far. And so you can also join the conversation by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number, which has been displayed on the screen right now, and also via our streaming platforms, Facebook and also YouTube, and we'll gladly read your comments out. Hello, Nana.
Hi, Miriam.
Mama 5.
So what's going on?
Oh, everything is fine. Yeah. I mean, we are all anticipating for today's match. Just that, as I said earlier, I am part of the portion of Ghanaians that are scared of the outcome of today's match.
Well, I wouldn't say you're far-fetched or you're far off being scared. I want to say a special good morning to our cherished viewers online and everywhere you're watching Cocoa Digest. It's actually such an honor to be
we are also pleased to have you on the show today. Our very own. Right, let's get straight into the conversation. I know you as a sports journalist have been following this AFCON closely since it started, especially with the journey of Ghana.
Yes.
In your own words, how will you summarize the performance of the Black Stars in our previous matches?
Well, I'm trying to be very, very organized and not say anything to actually sort of downplay the kind of efforts that they are putting in. But there hasn't been any sort of I'm trying to find the right word so that I don't ruffle a few feathers. But our performances have not been anything to write home about, considering the fact that we are languishing third, bottom of the third, with 1 point, with Niger also. Niger not considered a footballing nation, with all due respect. Our performances after 2 games, we've just scored 1 goal. And for Ghana Black Stars, it's not something that we all thought we would actually be talking about at this point in time. Being in a group with Sudan, Angola, and Niger, you think that Ghana should be miles off ahead of them. But at the moment, that's not the case. There's been series of reasons that the players and the footballing body, FA, have actually come out to put to defend their sort of abysmal performance, if I can say it that way. But so if you should ask me how the Black Stars have performed this particular time in the journey for AFCON, I would say not so good, not so good.
We can't really complain. I mean, a lot of Ghanaians were disappointed in our first match with Angola when we had so many chances and we couldn't score, and it was a home game. Right, and also that's with Niger. We also surrendered our lead to Niger by 1-1, and now we are placed third in the chart. We are meeting Sudan today. A lot of people also are of the view that Sudan is not that team that we should be scared of. What would you say has gone into our preparation that we can boast of, scoring Sudan in today's match?
Well, in terms of preparation, I can talk about the pitch. It's in a better condition. I've been there a couple of times to actually watch the Black Stars train. I saw the likes of Mohamed Kudus, the likes of Gideon Mensah, the likes of Antoine Semenyo, and all the players from Europe coming down to actually come and show their love for the national team, honoring the call up. But I would say that it's not quite simple. The preparations are there. The pitch is looking good in the best condition that it's been since.
Yeah, a lot of people are, of the view that it's because of the match that the magic, the recent magic, as we can see on the screen, happened on our pitch. It looks very nice, actually.
It looks nice, but it could be better. And if it's maintained also, I think it will be it will be in the best interest for everyone. I mean, Ghana as a footballing nation, we saw the kind of pitch that we played on in Kumasi at the Bavaria Sports Stadium when we played versus Angola. The players couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. But now, as you can see on your screens there, the pitches are in better condition. So we hope that the players wouldn't have any cause to blame. But I mean, this is the barest minimum that we could actually ask for, because as a footballing nation, Ghana, being ever present in 4 of the past 5 World Cups, it should tell you that Ghana is sort of a footballing stronghold when it comes to Africa, considering the fact that Africa is just given 5 slots when it comes to the World Cup. So preparations towards the Sudanese game couldn't have been any better in terms of the pitch, in terms of pitch-wise. But also, when you look at history, Sudan have also never won on Ghanaian soil. They've played more than 13 games, and the only time Sudan has won is when Ghana has gone away. Ghana wins Sudan. Usually, the most famous scoreline is 3-0 to the Black Stars whenever we face Sudan. But that notwithstanding, it's not a simple task. It's not, considering the fact that the Sudanese coach.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to even talk about. Because, I mean, we have our former coach coaching the team now, right?
Not only coaching the team, but a few eyebrows were raised that he was also part of the executive council of the Ghana Football Association. That means he knows the ins and outs of our operations.
And I think that was why he was able to boast that Sudan is going to win Ghana.
Yes, I mean,
hands down.
I mean, looking at the preparation and looking at how Sudan has performed in their previous games, you know that Sudan are not, they actually beat Senegal in the World Cup qualifier, and Senegal are the African champions. So that should tell you that they beat Senegal away in Senegal, in Dakar. So that should tell you that they are not going to put their tails in between their legs and then sit back for the Black Stars to have a kick about. But anyway, we are here. We are hoping that history will still favor us, because Sudan have never beaten Ghana on Ghanaian soil.
Okay, so we are hoping that Ghana will win this match, right?
Hopefully.
But a lot of people are in doubt. They are shaking. Well, if you just joined us, this is the lifestyle segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. We are discussing the Black Stars road to AFCON 2025, the challenges and hopes. So you can join in the conversation by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number, which is displayed on the screen right now. We have Nanayao with us here. He happens to be a sports journalist and also the host for the Clock Sports here on Clock TV. And so he's giving us more insights into the conversation. Additionally, we'll be on the line or the phone with Eric Bequain, who happens to be a former Kotoko player and currently an assistant coach. And so he's also bringing his insights into the conversation. So you can join us via our streaming platforms as well, and we'll gladly read everything out. Now, Nanayao, let's look at some of the challenges. You paid attention closely to Angola and then Niger, the matches we had with them. Now, aside the pitch, which was a major hindrance to our success, what do you think are some of the challenges that hindered our players?
Well, recently, what's making rounds on social media is the GFA boss actually addressing, let me put it that way, the Ghanaian players, the team. And then it looks like what is resonating with a lot of Ghanaians is that the players are not putting in their best. We see the likes of Thomas Partey, who has actually called in ill, not being able to be with the Black Stars. And so the issues, the challenges is the players reaffirming their commitment to the Black Stars. You see some of the players, how they sort of, in quotes, kill themselves when they are playing for their club side. It's not sort of the same when they actually get here. They refuse to put in the work when they get here. But when you compare them to their performances in their club side, you see that it's a lot better. But that notwithstanding, the players have actually said they said they are going to perform better, they are going to do better, and that communique that actually came out from the GFA. I don't know whether it's in the best taste for everyone.
Okay, not to cut you, I think we have Eric Bequin on the line with us to have a conversation with. Hello, sir.
Hello there.
Good morning.
Fine morning, madam.
Okay, please, how are you doing?
By the grace of God and His intervention, we are alive and kicking.
We bless God. First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your new deal as the head coach for Division 1 side, Sorenante FC. A very big congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you very much, madam.
Okay, so we are discussing Black Stars' road to AFCON 2025, the challenges and hopes. Now, having started your coaching career several years ago and also being a player, what would you say is the state of the Black Stars in this year's AFCON 2025 qualifiers?
I think first of all, thank you, and then I'll use the opportunity to greet your panelists who are in the studio right now, and then your humble viewers and listeners of this wonderful show.
Okay.
I think when it comes to playing and then coaching, sorry, I'll just like this. Coaching and playing is a world apart.
Okay.
I mean, coaching is you remoting something to work, and then being a player is you yourself using your brains to function and then get the results.
Okay.
And then also about the game itself, I think it's two different things. It's about consistency, and then in Q say Kobo. I mean, whereby we don't keep the players consistently. When a player comes today, the next game we wouldn't see him. You know, it gives lack of the blend, the cohesion, the telepathy, and all that cannot work. But when it comes to the Chinese team, you and I know how long they've been together, so they know themselves very well. And when it comes to our team itself, like the way Mr. Ketokeku was so too, I would say he wanted to let them what they can do and what the others have done some years back. Because recently everybody is talking about Ghana is living on the past glory, the Black Stars are living on the past glory. So immediately somebody comes on board and then he tests that flow and then he feels again the person that he's talking about is not the one that we knew way back. So let's go in all out, and it has made a lot of teams, a lot of countries have taken us as walkover and all that. So when it comes to what Kurt was saying, I'm not quoting him, but I feel when somebody knows what you can do, that is where he can also come in with a complaint that people have played before, and maybe at your platform, you are doing so good, and luckily for us, now we have here to be watching players weekend. If you are injured, so if you are underperforming, you know which. I'm sure the coaches are so intelligent not to call you, but rather we go in for the best so that come and give us the best result. Because it's like playing for Kumasi and having the chance to see Otumfuo alone is a motivation. So you getting the call up to come and serve your nation is a very, very big motivation for you, because I was lucky to once played outside. And when national teams are going and there's a call up, and then you'll be expecting to get a letter or get a call from your team to tell you that we've received a letter from your national team that you should come and represent. Even at the training grounds alone, I mean, the praises your teammates, Charlie, wish you good luck. Go and make us proud. Go and make our team proud. These are all the motivational factors. Psychologically, this should even motivate you, because when you go, they will ask you what happened. What was the score? What was this? So So you don't need Chet to come and tell you that what you have been doing, try and do it better. Have you seen someone who doesn't know how to play ball, who have been confronted that, my friend, try and play the ball well? It's impossible. In our candle, they say, so once you are playing well, then you better not play well at your club side so that we don't call you.
Well, Eric.
But once we know how.
Hello, Eric. Okay. Nanaya has a question for you.
Hi, Eric.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following your career path for a while now, since 2005, your days in Liberty Professionals all the way through to Liberty, even when you went to Asteras Tripoli, and then when you ended up in 2018 with AFC Leopards in South Africa.
Yeah.
We've actually been watching you, and then we are quite impressed by the work that you've done for Ghana football. 2008, 2009, or 2007, 2008, for Asante Kotoko, you were the top goal scorer for in the Ghana Premier League. I quite remember. But that limited you to just a few appearances in the Black Stars. I think altogether you made just about 5 substitute appearances for the Black Stars. And we've all been calling for the inclusion for local players. And that's one thing that we've all been advocating for, myself as a sports journalist and all that. But it looks as though it can be faulted that we are no longer calling in local players. Looking at the quality of the league, it can be said that around your time, especially when there was Gauka Top 4, even just watching the likes of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Arsenal at the time, and the likes, we could garner like a lot of quality players. But now it doesn't look like it's the same. So what do you think can be done to actually sort of rectify that situation in promoting local league players, and then also promoting the inclusion of promoting the Ghanaian league as well?
Nana, you've really hit the nail on the wall. I think you need an applause for this, and it's been a headache. My time, let's face facts.
Yeah.
I was not lucky, but the nation was lucky. Why? Because we had more quality than quantity.
Yeah.
You look at the likes of Samuajan playing, Agogo playing, and all those guys. I mean, everybody was on top of his game at his club side, and then the national side as well.
Very true.
So that's been the comparison that we're making now. You see, my own. When I was performing in Ghana, it wasn't only Kotoko fans that wanted me in the Black Stars.
Yeah.
Even Adi Hassan Cool, I mean, the opposing team were even fighting that. I have made the league so competitive. And even my target was to beat Ismail Ado's record. That was my target. But because of the national assignment, going to local Black Star, being in the 23s, sometimes we do travel. When I get to airport, I'm just changing my bag. I'm traveling maybe with the national team and all that. So I couldn't get to appear in all the league games. I played 23 matches and then scored 17.
Yeah.
The Africa to the Confederation, I played 10 matches. I scored. There's no way I scored in a single season for the Confederations Cup. The record is there.
Yeah, but your stats, by the way, not to cut you, your stats are quite very commendable. When you look at your games per goal ratio, it's up there with the best in the world, honestly speaking. 23 games, 17 goals, and just to mention a few, like these are like very, very good stats.
Hello, Eric.
I think we lost Eric on the line there.
So there has been a video, circulating online on how the GFA president spoke to the players, and some people are saying it was in a very unpleasant manner. We have that video. Let's take a look at it and also deliberate on that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a coach, so we have him on the line. Hello, Eric.
Yes.
Please forgive me.
I was also listening. Don't worry.
Okay, so what is your take on the manner in which the GFA president addressed the players?
Yeah, you know, we've been with the media for so long. I mean, for so many years now. But he's alerting them. He's reminding them that when you were a kid, you once wished to play for the Black Stars, isn't it? And now you have the chance to play. We see you play week in, week out at your club side, and now you've been invited. Why don't you come and sacrifice a bit for us? I think this call doesn't call for any. See, after Alex Ferguson did that thing, we are not saying that we should encourage.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all psychological games that you can use on a player.
Yeah.
You understand? So now, let's say I'm a coach or I'm a player, and Nanaya is a coach, and Nanaya is not playing me. Maybe the game plan is playing at that moment doesn't suit my style of play. Doesn't mean I'm not a good player, yeah?
Yeah.
So then you get somebody who is your fan will tell you, Coach Nanaya doesn't like you. We know he doesn't like you. When you go and prove him wrong, listen to this sentence very well. It's like, go and prove him wrong. You can never prove a coach wrong. You can rather improve yourself.
Yeah.
Because when Cristiano Ronaldo was fighting Ten Hag, he said, it's my team. Set them on platform now. That is where you are going to prove your point.
Yeah.
What if I don't select you to play? You see the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Eric.
So now,
Yeah, sorry, but there's also another side to it. There's also the side that is saying that the GFA is sort of trying to, by making this even known to the public. I mean, you could have done this in your quiet closet and no one would have known about it. The players would have actually received the message. But making it known to the public, you're trying to.
Nana.
Let me just.
When I'm coming, I'm coming. You counted me, so let me also counter you small.
Sure.
What if Kurt came to praise them and then saying that, oh, you did well, then you did match, you did well, so this one too, please, we want you to. And then we did not see the video.
Yeah.
We only saw Kurt trying to prompt the boys that this is what you can do. Please do it for us. The whole nation is behind you. You understand?
Yeah.
We are not saying that we should encourage, but listen. You okay? So you see the difference here. Now
my point of view is that
when you go to the United States, I think from California, right?
Yeah.
That place is like a very bad place, yeah.
Yeah.
But you will not see that CNN is telecasting all those things.
Yes.
But when it comes to Ghana, you come and talk about this place, the gutter is dirty. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So what we as fans we have to do is, if the players were not performing all, that is a different ball game.
Yeah.
But here in the case, we know what they can do. And you are not doing it.
But Eric,
a whole Black Star player will lose a ball and then he's walking as if nothing is at stake.
Eric, that is true. That is true on the one part. But on the other hand, is also that not everything that is going on wrong with the Black Stars is coming from the playing body, but the GFA, president making this public statement is sort of trying to put all unnecessary pressure on the playing body, on the players. And that is also sort of going to divert attention from the likes of the managerial decisions and all that. In our previous games. That is true.
This is not the juvenile team.
That is true. But in our previous games, would you also agree that, for instance, the coach would have actually should have actually made some substitutions earlier, considering the trajectory that the game was traveling? And if he had done that, that would have maybe changed the complexity of the game. That is on one part.
Now, I think.
And now every attention is going on to the players. Because they are not running enough on the pitch. and all other issues are being placed on the side.
Nana, you know, I was once a player.
I understand. I know very well.
I will never condemn a player in my life.
Yes.
But look at the tangent that I'm coming from. I said, the Bekwia fan, not in the Obama, and I don't perform. You don't have to waste your energy trying to say something that Eric, it's a norm for me.
Yeah.
But this is a case whereby one and I are in self TV station and we've seen the lives of this one, the man who does the Monday Sports, Japan, and all those things.
Yes.
We've seen them, we've watched them. That is what has made you, Nanaya, who you are sitting there right now.
That is true. I'm not disputing that.
We know that they are doing their best.
Yeah.
But until you retire, your best wouldn't be enough.
That is
me
true.
when I was active, I can't deceive nature. When injury started setting in, I sat down and I was like, I can't perform to how people are expecting me to perform. So you keep going, you disgracing yourself, you come back. You keep going, you disgrace yourself, you come back. See, you can never deceive nature.
That is true.
You understand? But here in a case whereby you are acting somewhere performing, and we call you to come and serve your nation. Look at the population of footballers in Ghana.
Yeah.
That is why I started making the point that we shouldn't encourage such things to happen. But the kukuru ni jaya.
Eric,
you understand?
Yeah.
You let the Black Stars. I know today they will make our day. Yeah. But it shouldn't be like because the FA president came out to say this or that. For now, we don't have any excuses than to concentrate on the game, go and play and make a point. Because now, if they don't make a point, then what gets said is true. So go and show it.
You see, Eric, that is my point. That the outcome of the game today is not solely based on the performance of the players, but it could be tactical errors and from the coach as well.
Okay.
But because of
then you need to consider Otuado.
Well, because of the sort of statements that the GFA president has done. Now all eyes are on the players.
What was the statement, Nana? What was the statement? Don't let us twist the issue because me, I saw it to be a motivational something.
Yes, I've also seen it as well.
That way, so that we'll get the win. Yeah.
Okay. So let me take over. Eric.
Yes.
Okay, so we haven't seen the lineup yet, but what is your proposed lineup for today's match? Looking at how some of the key players like Thomas Partey and the rest have withdrawn from the team, what is your proposed time set for the match?
You know, way back, we used to know that Ghana Baba Bobo. John Pence Bobo 2. There has a bit after Bobo 3.
Yeah.
There captain now be filling a double. So you see now we come to the consistency that I spoke earlier on.
Yeah.
Yes.
You see where it has landed.
Yes.
Now my own darling club, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. If you tell me to mention first 5, I cannot mention. Because the consistency is not there. You see, so it makes even the coach work so difficult. You see, because Bashir Rayford, there's a time when we're in Kotoko, he would just come. He said, "Moasebu is selection." You see, so if you have such a team like Real Madrid, when you ask Ancelotti, what system are you playing? What does he tell you? you just put them because you've seen them play.
Yeah.
So just put them to work.
Yeah.
So now if I was to be a player now in the Black Stars, this is the time for me to sacrifice, play, and remain, and then take a position forever. John Pento was a striker.
From his days at
being number 2, and he has played number 2 to us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
From his days at Brekum Arsenal, he was a right winger.
He was a striker.
Yeah.
So me, I will encourage the players. They should take what the FA president said in good faith and then work upon it, make the mark, and then let's all marry, because now it's all about we qualifying. It's not about who said this, who said that, who said this, who said that. You understand?
Yeah.
So me, I will encourage them to rather take it in good faith. Sometimes you get the good, the bad information, but which one do you work on? Take the bad, work on the bad, so that it will be perfect.
Yeah. Right. Thank you so much, Eric.
But Eric, just before you go, would you be at the stadium today?
I'm in Wa as we speak now, and I'm playing a league match on the weekend.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just won my first game on at post, and we are looking forward for the rest.
Right.
It looks like you're excelling both in coaching and then playing as well.
So Nanaya, please pray for me. Brian Nanaya, please pray for me.
Don't worry. Victory is assured. So don't worry. Victory is assured.
Okay.
Thank you so
I wish the Black Star good luck, so that they will play anything that is positive that will come into the game. Should fall on them. Everybody should have his day.
Yeah.
The coaching tactics must work. We are praying. Everything concerning them. But one thing we also like to that a lot of
Okay.
Hey, Eric.
Thank you so much, Eric, for this conversation. We appreciate you. And that was the former Asante Kotoko striker who has taken a new role as the assistant coach of the national under-19 male team, and currently a coach for Division 1 side Sorenante FC, with his insights over there. And I could see how, gingered Nanaya was, because he had a lot of questions to ask. As of course, he's a sports journalist, and so you can't expect less from him. No, we are wrapping up shortly. Yeah. But how would you say the failure or the success of the matches we've been having so far impacts the lives of the young ones, in our country, as vibrant youth?
I mean, we all say that Black Stars Bomacha is after we saw the sort of remarks that people gave after the AFCON when we were going to play our next matches. People were even trying to protest against the Black Stars, which they actually did, that they should disband the Black Stars and all that. But trust me, those same people will be glued behind their TVs or even at the stadiums today to actually follow up the match of the Black Stars. So there's this passion that Ghanaians have for the Black Stars, and every time we lose a match, our hearts get broken, and which is usually happening quite a lot these few times, these past games. But so it's actually going to affect us. I mean, there's even a watch seller at my junction that when Black Stars lose matches, she doesn't come again. So that will not come again when Black Stars lose matches. But that's the kind of love that we have for our national team, the Black Stars. Considering the fact that we are termed as a footballing nation, we've lost our way, but we are back on course, and hopefully the results will be in our favor today.
Okay, so we have some comments here. Let me read them so that we wrap up. Today's game, Ghana versus Sudan. Correct score, Ghana 1, Sudan 2. My name is Alex. No one can beat me. Hey, Alex.
Alex, be careful.
Okay, we also have this. Please tell Nanaya that there has been instances where a team lost a match, but the players were applauded. Also, a team could win a game, but still there would be a player who could be criticized. All we ask is commitment and dedication from the players. When they do their part, we will all sympathize with them, even when they lose. We are not.
that is true. Yeah. We are all talking about the commitment of the players to the Black Stars, and that's what we've all been advocating for. The same sort of preference that you give when you are called to play for, say, West Ham United, Arsenal, Auxerre, and the likes. That should be the same kind of commitment to play for the senior national team.
And I was very happy when you asked Eric the question of, employing local players to play for the Black Stars, because that is what most Ghanaians have been praying for. And I think the commitment we are talking about will come from that angle, because those that have already seen the world, the commitment is always.
But unfortunately, the quality of our league at the moment, looking at the pitches that they even play on, it's not there yet. I mean, there are still some quality players on there. We've seen the likes of players playing in our local leagues not being called, but these same players, when they travel, get experiences 1 year, a few years, and they are being asked to come and play for the Black Stars. So it's not in terms of the players, but the quality of the league in total. Okay. And that's something that we've also been advocating for, and something that we'll be working on. I wanted to ask Eric a few questions, but I'm sure we'll catch him on our preview show as well.
Yeah, exactly. So before you leave, just tell me your score. I'm taking your score. Be fair and honest.
Being fair and honest. Considering the fact that Black Stars, when you look at the I'm going to fall on the side of history. Considering the fact that when you look at Black Stars playing Sudan, last 13 times, the most famous scoreline has been 3-0 in Accra to the Black Stars, or maybe a 1-0 win for the Black Stars. So either of them, I'm hoping for the 3-0 one, so that we can party at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nana, for gracing our lifestyle segment here on the Cocoa Digest. It has been an insightful conversation. I didn't know sports was very interesting like this. we'll be doing more of that if Black Stars should score Sudan and move forward in the journey of the AFCON. But yeah, this is where we end the lifestyle segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. We discuss the Black Stars road to AFCON 2025, the challenges and also the hopes. I did this with our very own Nanaya Osari, who is the host for O'Clock Sports here on Plot TV. And we also had Eric Bequain on the line to share his insights in the conversation. Up next, we have amazing personalities to celebrate. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. Today was your birthday.
Right, so we have a few birthday messages here. Precious Eliplim Kwashi, a happy birthday to my beautiful friend. God bless you. This is from Keddy. We also have, there's a happy, hilarious birthday to my beautiful and adorable daughter, Nora Ekuya Shamira Sadiq. May Adom Nyame continue to bless you. Stay blessed. And this is
happy, hilarious. Happy, hilarious birthday.
From NS Kofi Asare. We also have this, a happy birthday to Margaret of University of Cape Coast Communication Studies Department. God richly bless you and keep you. Margaret, this is especially from me. A happy, happy birthday. You've been supporting me in this journey. Okay. We also have this from... okay, no name. Happy birthday, Elvis Bentel. Greatness awaits you. Happy birthday, Na Bibio Cassandra. WULLNP.
I think that's wishing you long life and prosperity.
Hey, boy. And this is from Shop. Hey.
Can I chip in with one as well?
Okay, sure.
Happy wedding anniversary to my very own mom and dad. For this particular journey. So yesterday was their wedding anniversary, so I would just want to wish them a happy wedding anniversary. So cheers to many successful years in unity and in love.
We are tapping into that grace. We are hoping that next year by this time Nanaya gets engaged. So that right. So this is where we end the birthday segment. Also on the lifestyle segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, I am Miriam Abna Adede. Now, up next, we have to do some business, and Clement Yabankwe is standing by to take us into the world of business. Please stay with us.
Clog TV. Beyond the policy.
Update segments. I am Clement Yabankwe. In today's story, starting with the Liquefied Petroleum Gas Markets Association of Ghana is warning of a potential gas shortage in the market starting next week. This is attributed to the low LPG reserves in the country and difficulties arising from new regulations introduced by the National Petroleum Authority for importing gas. The association also anticipates price increase due to the recent developments in the international market. It was revealed that the Atuabo gas plant is currently unable to meet the association's demand, forcing LPG marketers to depend on foreign imports. Mr. Kumi noted that the issue could be resolved and gas supply improved if NPA addresses the recommendations made by the LPG marketers. In our second story, Newmont Corporation has announced the sale of its Achim corporations to Zijin Mining Company Limited for up to $1 billion United States dollars. This disinvestment aligns with Newmont's strategy to focus on its Tier 1 assets. The agreement stipulates that Newmont will receive $900 million United States dollars at closing, with an additional $100 million contingent on certain conditions. Proceeds will enhance the company's balance sheet and return capital to shareholders. The transaction is expected to close in the fourth quarter of 2024, pending regulatory approvals, and will not significantly impact Newmont's 2024 outlook. CEO Tom Palmer is optimistic about the future of Akyem under the new ownership, while Newmont continues to invest in Ghana, particularly in the Ahafo North gold mining projects. In our last story, the Ghana cedis experienced a slight recovery against the United States dollar and other major currencies last week. This improvement came after Ghana announced a notable participation rate from Eurobond holders for restructuring of $13 billion of its international debts. Additionally, the International Monetary Fund reached a staff-level agreement with Ghana regarding the Extended Credit Facility Program on October 4, 2024.
0.09% against the dollar, closing at the mid-rate of 16.19 Ghana cedis per dollar, appreciating at 0.35% against the pound and 0.28% against the euro. Currently, the retail rate stands at 16.22 Ghana cedis per dollar, reflecting a year-to-date depreciation of about 22%. With the pending IMF board approval, Ghana is set to access $360 million, which could enhance foreign exchange reserves and support supply-side interventions. Analysts anticipate a continued improvement for the Ghana cedis in the coming weeks.
That's all we have for you on Business Update segment today. I am Clement Yabankwe. Do enjoy the rest of the show.
Clog TV, Beyond the Policy.
So welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, and we're about to have our main discussion, which is on breast cancer awareness. And today's conversation is definitely with our very own, our resident doctor, our favorite doctor here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, and she's in the person of Dr. Victoria Partey Newman. She's a resident public health physician at the West African College of Physicians and Surgeons, and also the CEO of Lady Bits Health and Wellness Clinic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look really, really good in the pink. Yeah. Yes, see, we also trying to rep.
Yeah, this Pink October we are repping.
Yes. So, you're the CEO of Lady Bits Wellness Clinic. If you can tell us a little bit about Lady Bits, we'll be really grateful.
Okay, thank you. So, Lady Bits was started in 2019.
Okay.
After so many years of working and finding out I have interest in women's health, mostly more of screenings, doing breast screening and pap smears.
Okay.
And then I figured, well, why don't I create a women's clinic specifically for women? Though we take general cases, but I'm more geared towards women.
Okay.
Where we screen them for their breast to rule out breast cancer, and then also we do their annual pap smears for them. The pap smear is relation to cervical cancer. And so it started out that way. And then it got to a point, some of the women were saying, come to the office, come and let's screen the women there, come and give a talk. And that's how it all started. Oh, okay. So it's a whole package of, we have the mobile clinic where we visit remote areas, in the rural areas, and then we screen them. With that one, it's more of sponsorship based on that, and then we render our services to them. And then as well, we have another package for corporate clients where those that do not want to come to the hospital, we go to their doorstep and then we examine them and then we take care of them. And then we have those that come to the clinic as well.
So you mentioned the breast screening and then the pap smear. Are there any other services you offer? Like, you know, with women, sometimes maybe scans for the PCOS, ultrasound scans for pregnancies, infections, all those other.
So basically we do gynae consultation. We also do mostly reproductive health issues in terms of UTIs and other things related to women to boost their confidence. We even have in play a psychologist who also supports women who have diagnoses that actually with the breast cancer diagnosis to more support them in acceptance of the disease and the way forward. So basically we do more of the screening for the women, more of the gynae consultation. We do general consultations anyway, but more geared towards the women.
Okay, thank you very much. So before we move quickly into our breast cancer conversation, please remember that we are coming to you live on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search for Clock TV and join in the conversation. You can also send your comments to our WhatsApp number displayed on your screens. And of course, later we will open the phone line so you can call and ask your questions. So, yes. Breast cancer. What is breast cancer all about? What is it?
Okay. So, like we have the cancer of the lung cancer, brain cancer, liver cancer. Likewise, we have breast cancer. So, breast cancer is just cancer of the breast. Okay. When you would ask what is cancer, so cancer is the abnormal proliferation of cells in the body. So we have breast cancer is abnormal proliferation of cells, of breast cells is breast cancer. And usually the body follows a certain pattern whereby the cells, they go through mitosis and meiosis to help regenerate new cells. So sometimes due to mutation of some genes, like the BRCA1 and BRCA2, there could be some changes, and also estrogen and progesterone changes can also cause cancer. So those kind of changes can affect the way it's supposed to go, and then you end up having overproliferation of the cells and then destruction of the cells around, eventually cancer cells going through the blood and then metastasizing to everywhere in the body.
Okay,
yes.
okay. So is breast cancer limited to only women, like the way prostate cancer is limited to men?
No, breast cancer is both sides.
Okay.
Men also have breast cancer. According to WHO, 1% to 2% of males are diagnosed with breast cancer.
Okay.
And women, we tend to have a larger breast. So our breast is more functional. So we are at risk of having breast cancer compared to men. But it does happen in both directions.
Okay. So what are the most common risk factors associated with breast cancer?
All right. That's a direct question, because most of the time they would ask what causes breast cancer. But the truth is there's no cause for breast cancer, but there are risk factors that accelerates the diagnosis of breast cancer or the eventuality of you getting breast cancer.
Okay.
One of such is the family history. When there's a strong family history of breast cancer, whereby your mother or an aunt or a sister, or even if your uncle has had prostate cancer, you need to be the type who should visit the Well Woman Clinic or a clinic for women to screen. Yes, to screen the breast, and then also to make sure you don't have any cancer going on in your ovary, your uterus, and everything. So family history is very strong. Another factor is nulliparity, that is not having children at all.
Okay.
Because the body has been programmed to have a child at a certain age. So when that doesn't happen, it causes some kind of changes in the body, mutation in the body. Sometimes that could lead to breast cancer. So if you have an auntie or a big sister who is beyond beyond some age to have a child, I think you should encourage her to be visiting the clinic. Yes. Also, per age. Now the age bracket is coming down. Usually breast cancer normally occurs for women at, let's say, 45. But now we are having cases of 13, 15, 19 having breast cancer, and usually even the aggressive type. One would ask why. Because of westernization and sedentary lifestyle and changes that are going on, our dieting and all that. So the probability of having breast cancer is not geared only towards the elderly, but it's both directions. Okay, so age, family history, and then also diet. Yeah, like I said, eating vegetables and fruits reduces some toxins in the body, and these toxins, when reduces the breast cancer.
Okay.
So you notice that cancer comes out of a result of stress, out of results of toxins, accumulated toxins. So once you detox and wash off all these things, it reduces your level of getting breast cancer and then also boosts your immunity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes there are these posts and things about processed foods being very, very high, like big risk factors. How true is that?
I agree.
Okay.
Because some of the preservatives that are used for the food can put you at risk of breast cancer. I admonish we do more of naturals, where we go to the market, get the vegetables, fruits, wash them very well with vinegar, salt, or whatever, and then blend it and use. And then maybe keep a little for just the week or some days, than to be using preserved tomato paste and stuff like that, which continuous use of it puts you at risk of breast cancer.
So what about the food groups? Because there are also some sorts of findings about glucose spikes, high sugars, and refined sugars also being big contributors of the risk of cancer. How true is that also?
So when the patient is diagnosed with breast cancer and the patient is done, we've had the treatment and all that, and there's counseling, one of the things we do is we refer her to a nutritionist. And one of the things the nutritionist will tell her, reduce your carb intake. Why? Because glucose increases in the body. When glucose increases in the body, it could be at risk of getting diabetes. And when there's so much sugar in the body, it's kind of dyes out the cells. And it doesn't make the cells fresh. It doesn't make the body fresh. And so the tissues are not fresh. So eventually what happens is that there will be some mutation.
Okay.
It's like the normal way the cells are supposed to go deviates because of the high sugars and all that. Like it's kind of like it obscures even circulation.
Okay.
So all these things puts the patient at risk of getting breast cancer. So some types of food are worth ignoring when you have breast cancer. So you concentrate more of the vegetables and then the fruits. And some people even say this fruit, alongoin tungui.
Yes.
It's also very good. And other things that, you know, would boost your immune system, like the beetroot and all that.
Okay.
Carrots.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about the gene BRCA1 and 2. Can you shed some light on that for us, please?
All right. So the BRCA1 gene and BRCA2 genes are the genes responsible for, they are the tumor suppressor genes.
Okay.
And usually they work, they are supposed to work in a normal way. There can be overexpression of these genes or not functioning well. So in that case, the cells produce, if the cells are supposed to produce like 10 cells, it ends up producing like 20. Then it goes like 50. And normally the cells have a time life. But it can go beyond even the 90 days.
Okay.
And then eventually you notice that there's some mutation going on. So people that have that particular gene are at risk of getting breast cancer.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it that everybody has that gene or it is restricted to certain people?
So it's restricted to certain people. Yes. So this actress Angelina Jolie, she had a strong family history of breast cancer.
Okay.
So she had to go and do some DNA tests to find out if she had the BRCA1 and 2 gene. She had it, and she noticed that she had to have a double mastectomy. She quickly removed her 2 breasts, not even with being diagnosed with breast cancer.
Just to prevent it.
Because the history was too much.
Okay.
Yeah, so once you have that particular, you need to.
So how do you check for the BRCA1 and 2 gene?
So usually it's more of a blood test.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not common here.
Okay.
So they're able to do some DNA analysis and they're able to pick it up from there.
Okay. So is the BRCA1 gene like the PSA thing for the prostate cancer as well?
Good. Yes.
Okay.
We even have another type of gene. We call it HER2. That's a human epidermal growth receptor gene. That one is usually used to diagnose the type of breast cancer, to know the type of treatment.
Okay.
Yes. So usually there will be over proliferation of the epidermal cells, which causes the cancer. So usually people with that once that particular gene is picked up, they are able to know the particular treatment for the patient. And it works very well for the patient.
So, back to the risk factors. I think I also read something about, shaving your armpits and then deodorants, that when you are not, the hairs there in the armpits are there for a reason. And so when you shave them completely and you're applying these antiperspirants and all kinds of cosmetics to your armpits, sometimes you put yourself at risk of getting breast cancer. Is there any correlation between those two?
Truthfully, there's no correlation or studies that have shown antiperspirants or deodorant causes breast cancer. But I think overuse of it in terms of probably not going towards the more organic and more sure one that is good. And then you just go to the market and buy any product and use it, and then probably have some skin irritations and all that. And with time, for over a long time, you end up having breast cancer, probably. Because it will surprise you to know that I don't want to spoil brands, but there are some particular powders that put you at risk of even ovarian cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, I've read on a study where a young woman who had been using a particular powder and for a while, and then eventually she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in her age, and then they had to trace it to that, and then they picked some substances that was relating to that particular. So it's not everything in the market that you buy.
Okay.
You should be sure of the brand that you are using.
Okay. So are there specific ingredients probably used in these cosmetics that we should take note of, that, you know, sometimes like in the natural hair community, this is a little bit of a digression, but they say maybe if there's maybe sulfate or so and so in the product, you shouldn't use it because it causes dryness, it causes this, or scalp irritations. Are there things like that that we can also take note of with our cosmetics, maybe from lotions to the deodorants and everything?
Personally, I haven't really gone into that.
Okay.
But I know some formalin, which is used for preservation, can put you at risk of getting breast cancer or any other type of cancer that is related to the body. Okay.
So would you advise that with using these cosmetics, we should also try to incorporate the more organic ones, just like in our diets?
Exactly.
Okay.
Like the Oriflame cosmetics are very organic and very good.
Okay. Thank you so much. So let's go quickly to screening guidelines. I think this is where a lot of us, I mean, there are a lot of women that are a bit shy to go and get screened and the rest. So if you can help us to go through how do you get screened? Okay, let's start with the going to the hospital, how it's done there. Then we can talk about the personal one at home.
So we have the clinical breast examination done by the doctor or the nurse.
Okay.
And then we have the self-breast examination done by the patient.
Okay.
So I want to go more, I think I want to empower women to be able to examine their breast on their own, because it's their breast. They have to own their breast.
Yeah.
You have to know your breast. You have to actually know how it is for you to know that there's something wrong at a particular point. So yesterday I was on a show with one elderly woman who was a breast cancer survivor. She said she's a nurse, and on her usual check-in, she picked up the lump.
Okay.
Because she knew her breast, she was able to quickly pick it up. So one thing I would urge is that just familiarize yourself with your breast. So first of all, you need to have your examination done a week after your menses, because prior to your menses, your breast is very lumpy. Yes. And usually after a week after your menses, you either examine your breast sitting down or lying down.
Okay.
So if you are very endowed, it's better to lie down to even out the breast on your chest. And then if you want to sit, you can sit. So while sitting, there should be a mirror in front of you where you assess the breast to see if it's symmetrical. Usually there's one breast bigger than one, which is fine. But when there's gross disparity in size, I think you should note that you need to come to the hospital. And then also you notice for any change in skin, probably there's ulceration or a sore that is not healing, or something wrong. Sometimes there will be nipple retraction. The nipple goes in. Some people are born with it naturally. That's why I said you should know your breast. So there'll be nipple retraction, and sometimes when you squeeze the breast, there'll be discharge. And sometimes you'll find an obvious lump. So you'd observe to see changes in the breast. Then you would put your hand on your waist, and then you try to dangle your breast. For the elderly women, their breasts are pendulous, so it has to flow this way. When it's restricted on the pectoralis major, the chest, then we know that there is something going on in the breast. So it's very important that it has to flow in the pendulous manner. Yes. So we check the breast, we check the flow, and then you now have to examine your breast. So usually the breast is divided into 4 quadrangles. We have the upper outer, and then upper inner, and the lower inner, and then the lower outer. So you'd examine per quadrangle and go round. And you would need to put your left hand behind your head, and then your right hand for the left breast. And then you would use the pulp of your finger to palpate
and check
in a round till you get to the nipple. And then you squeeze the nipple to see if there's any discharge. And usually in breast cancer, there will be some lymph nodes in the axillary region. So you need to check if there are any lymph nodes, and then the clavicular region as well. and then you are done with the left breast.
Okay, so you mentioned clavicular region. Please break it down for us.
Sorry, the collarbone.
Okay.
You check around the collarbone to see if there are any lymph nodes in the armpit, and then you repeat the same for the right breast. So averagely, less than a minute, you should be able to have examined your breast.
Okay.
So women who are menopausal and are not having their menses anymore should just choose a day. So probably my birthday is on the 6th of October. So every 6th of October, every 6th of every month on my calendar, I would examine my breast.
Okay.
So just choose a day of your birthday and then just follow through every month. Make sure you examine. So when there is a change, then you quickly come to the hospital and the doctor or the nurse performs the clinical breast examination.
Okay. So are we required to use like an oil to smooth it out or something?
No, but then preferably in the shower, because the soap is on the breast and it makes like transitioning. It goes there. But,
okay. Right. So I know a survivor who did not have any lumps in her breast, but she felt something strange in her armpit.
Good.
So what is that also about?
So you know that there's something we call accessory breast.
Okay.
That's not necessarily breast here, but it can be in the axillary region. Maybe there was a bit of a breast, accessory breast in her armpits, which developed some lymph nodes. Okay. And then there was some cancer in the cells. There was some cancer in the breast cells, and then that was picked. So it hadn't even gotten to the real breast. I don't know, how is she? Did she survive?
Oh yes, she did survive.
Because such a case most probably would survive because it's quite on the early detection side.
Okay, so well, for that patient also, she mentioned that when she was doing the examination, she felt something. The texture of the breast was different, but it was not lumpy. It was just different. She couldn't really explain that. So with the education about, yes, you find a lump, what about the people that feel like it's strange, but then they haven't heard anything about a strange feeling, so they may think that
we haven't gone through the symptoms and signs of breast cancer. So one of them is, we call it peau d'orange. That's a French word. It looks, your breast looks like orange. So the way the skin of an orange feels. So that's your breast with those kind of dots. That should be a sign that you should come. Then usually you feel some thickening of the breast or skin, the epidermis around that side with some, calcification. You just feel there's something wrong, like you were describing. So the tissue feels a bit thicker than usual compared to the other. Like something is a bit off. You should come to the hospital. And then also nipple discharge. There's pus, there's blood, there's serous. Serous is white. But having nipple discharge does not necessarily mean breast cancer. I had a very scary event of one of my nurses. She's now retired, and she noticed blood from her nipple. We're doing the Well Woman Clinic. She noticed blood from her nipple, and that was like a scare for her. But eventually, it was just something we call duct ectasia. The breast ducts had just dilated, and then had pressed on some blood vessels, and then just come to the hospital and let the doctor diagnose you. And then also, one thing I would also say, one differential of breast cancer is mastitis, which is mast is breast. So itis is inflammation. So inflammation of the breast, which comes from women breastfeeding. So you would have a breastfeeding mother whose milk cakes in the breast, especially when the child is not pulling much of the breast. The milk can cake, and it mimics breast cancer. Very painful, and like you eventually feel sick and septic. With such a condition, you treat with antibiotics and then maybe some painkillers, and then the patient feels better after a while. So I'm just saying this because it's not everything wrong with the breast that is breast cancer. Another thing that usually occurs with women in our age brackets is usually fibroadenoma. For women between the ages of 19 to like 35, 37, they usually have the fibroadenoma, which mimics breast cancer, which is not. And normally breast cancer is usually in the initial stages painless. And the fibroadenoma comes with pain. So usually one reason why I would remove a fibroadenoma, the fibroadenoma is just like uterine fibroid. That's fibroid of the breast. of the uterus.
Yeah.
So the fibroadenoma is fibroid of the breast, and it comes with pain and discomfort. So that would be the reason why they will have a lumpectomy to remove the lump from the breast, not because it's cancerous. But sometimes, eventually, there can be mutation, it can change to cancer. So usually there's something we call watchful waiting, where the doctor would observe to see if it's necessary for you to have the lump removed. Sometimes some parents are like, please, I'm not going to wait. Let's just remove it.
Yes, they don't. Okay. It's time for a quick break. When we come back, we will continue the conversation on breast cancer. And don't forget to send in your questions. I know a lot of our women have pressing questions to ask, and our doctor will answer each and every one of them. We will be right back.
Clog TV, Beyond the Policy.
How often should I perform self-breast exams? This is from Ikea Martina from Cape Coast. Yes.
So we said that earlier, a week after your menses. Your
every
menses
month
comes monthly.
So monthly, after a week after your period, you can perform your own self-breast examination. If you get the chance to, you can visit any medical facility, preferably Lady Vits, and then go for a professional screening to check yourself. So, Doc, signs and symptoms. But I think before we get to the signs and symptoms, I wanted to ask. Oh, this question is okay. It will come back to me. Let's go to the signs and symptoms. What are some of the things we should look out for to know that breast cancer may be on the way?
Yeah. So, like I said, your skin is there irritation. So usually for fair women, there will be reddening, ulceration, sores that don't go.
Okay.
And then also there could be dimpling, whereby there will be some retraction of a part of your skin because the lump is pushing against the chest wall.
Okay.
There could also be discharge from the breast, specifically pus.
Okay.
Yeah, like how when you have a boil and the fluid comes out, it's the same pus that can come from the breast. It means that there's an inflammation or something wrong with the breast. And sometimes there could be, but mind you, some people have milk from their breasts.
Okay.
And those ones have issues with, the last time we talked about the PCOS. Yeah. So it has to do with fertility and all that. So that's a different thing. That's why when you examine your breast, you just come for a doctor to confirm what exactly is going on.
Okay.
So you check for the changing in the skin, the discharge. We have something we call nipple retraction.
Okay.
It can be natural with people, but some people's own, that's why you should know your breast. So a time will come, you notice, this particular breast is going in. What's the problem? This particular, then you bring it for examination, okay? And I spoke earlier on about the podorange, whereby it looks like an orange, very hard and dotted with thickened skin.
Okay.
Yeah, thickened skin, and that should be a sign that you should come to the hospital.
Okay. So why does this question keep escaping me? Yes, I wanted to ask about the hormonal breast cancer. What is the difference and how do they detect that this is hormonal breast cancer and then this is normal breast cancer, so to speak?
All right. So we have types of breast cancer. We have the triple negative breast cancer.
Okay.
Usually that one has to do with the breast cancer, the cancer cells have no estrogen receptors, no progesterone receptors, and no HER2 receptor. HER2 is the human epidermal growth factor receptor. Those are the things that trigger the overproliferation of the cells.
Okay.
So when it's like that, we call it a triple negative type of breast cancer. And there's also a type of breast cancer whereby the estrogens and the progesterones causes the breast cancer. So they have that particular receptor, and the overproduction of the excess of the estrogens will cause overproduction of the cells. And then, so normally with those particular breast cancer, when the hormones are the cycle of how the hormones come, like they are intercepted, that's the word. When they are intercepted, there's great reduction in the tumor.
Okay.
Yeah, there's great reduction in the tumor. One medication, I think tamoxifen, there's great reduction in the tumor, and then it suppresses the tumor, and then they can have the surgery, and then radiotherapy comes in. So the hormonal, should I say the estrogen-related breast cancer is also there. Then we have the triple negative, and then we have the human epidermal growth factor that causes overproliferation of the cells that leads to. So there are different types of breast cancer for different types of treatments.
Okay. So if people like, with now we have a lot of ladies dealing with hormonal imbalances. How should they sort of live their lives to be able to avoid anything, maybe the hormonal kind of breast cancer?
So one of the risk factors of breast cancer is the OCPs, the oral contraceptives.
Okay.
So you need to be managed with like a doctor. You need to have an endocrinologist. Once in a while, perform some labs to find out how your hormones are faring, your estrogens, your progesterones, your testosterones. I told you earlier on the other time that women have a bit of testosterone. So the level should be within a certain level. All those things have to be managed, yes.
Okay. So, yeah, now let's go to diagnosis. We have the screening and things done in the, but are there any other ones? I think I've heard of the mammogram. What's the mammogram about? And then I think MRIs and then a biopsy. So if you can shed some light on that too.
All right. So a 40-year-old woman, women above 40 years, they do the mammogram. Mammogram is simple simple X-ray of the breast. As we have chest X-ray, X-ray of the leg, X-ray of the breast. Why X-ray of the breast? Because for women above 40 years, their breast is less dense. And so there's penetration of radiation. Okay, and they are able to pick up the lump. Women below 40 years do a breast scan. The breast scan mostly is for, you see, when you are pregnant and you want to check the sex of the baby and the baby is fine. That particular scan, the same probe that is used to check. So we use that probe to see if there's any lump, tissue by tissue. They go around and then they pick up. So that is the scan, and then we have the mammogram. The MRI, it's higher resolution, magnetic resonance imaging, more than the ultrasound and then the mammogram. That is when you really want to be sure and you really feel you are not seeing much with the previous images I mentioned, yes. And then we also have the biopsy. The biopsy is a conclusive diagnostic procedure whereby a true cut needle is invasive. It's pushed into the breast tissue, specifically by ultrasound guide, to know exactly where the lump is. And then some tissue is picked, sent for cytology and microscopy to see what particular cells are growing, if it's cancerous. Yeah.
So, let me ask this person's question. So I have another question here. This one says, I'm enjoying Coco Digest topic, very educative and informative, as said by Ira most often. My name is Mrs. Joanna Sante. Doctor, what if I'm pregnant or breastfeeding and diagnosed with breast cancer?
Yeah, it happens. So my predecessor, Dr. Deban, would also say, Doc, whenever you're examining a patient, make sure, even if the patient is pregnant or the patient is, if the patient is pregnant or the patient is breastfeeding, examine. But there are ways and techniques to do for them. Okay, because normally with pregnancy, the breast is tender and lumpy. So you would examine, but with a mind that is lumpy, so we wouldn't be too expectant of saying that, oh, your breast is lumpy, so you have cancer. But then you would examine and feel if there's something off, you would know, and then you would do the scan. For a breastfeeding mother, you would examine, but you wouldn't have to squeeze the nipple because, of course, milk will come out. So there are ways, but they should never be exempted from doing a breast scan or a mammogram if breastfeeding can do a mammogram. But with pregnancy, you can't do the mammogram. But you should never be exempted from doing imaging. Because I've encountered a patient that was pregnant and had issues with the breast. We thought that the patient was actually having breast changes. You understand? Breast changes with the breast. And that I think I wrote an article concerning miscarriages and abortions causing breast cancer. You know, the pregnancy has a way of regulating the estrogens and progesterones. So what happens is that when you are pregnant and it's supposed to follow a certain course in your estrogen spike or whatever, what happens is that when you abort or you have a miscarriage, there's a sudden drop. And that continues, if another abortion happens, another one, or miscarriage, that continuous thing kind of destabilizes the body and can put you at risk of getting breast cancer. Yes. So that women that have had several miscarriages, I'm putting come to be checked. Yeah.
So yes, again about the pregnant mother or breastfeeding mother. So if it's confirmed that she has breast cancer, is she allowed to continue breastfeeding?
No. we stop breastfeeding.
Okay.
So what happens is that we stop breastfeeding immediately, put the baby on formula, and then we concentrate on the mother.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We've had a case whereby a woman was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was pregnant, but it was diagnosed like around 32 weeks. So she had about 8 more weeks to go. So what we did was we had to put on hold treatment, everything, and then wait for her to deliver. And then so the baby was never put on breast, and then we started treatment for her. But she's alive. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So yes, I have. So the person who asked about the sucking and then things. So he says, thank you for the information. I missed the discussions earlier. Pardon me if you already said that. I missed it. I want to inquire about the hereditary nature of breast cancer markers. Specifically, I would like to know if women from families with a history of breast cancer are more predisposed to developing the condition. This is from Kweku in Accra. Yes, please. They are. We also mentioned that earlier. So the stages of breast cancer, we've been hearing stage 4, stage this. What are they, and how dangerous are they, or what is the most dangerous stage?
So we have stage 1 to stage 4. Stage 1 is when you find a lump less than 2 centimeters confined in the space. Stage 2 is there is a lump from 2 to like 5 centimeters now spreading in the breast tissue. Stage 3, 2 to 5 centimeters spreading in the breast tissue with lymph nodes in the armpits. And stage 4 is when the whole breast is destroyed and spreading in the lungs, the liver. There's metastasis to the whole body. And so stage 4 is when you are dying, or you eventually die. And stage 1 is the early detection. So the whole emphasis of Pink October, we are stressing on early detection, because once it's detected, the chances of survival is 99%. And in stage 4 is 1%. So that's the disparity of it. I don't know if you would have more time. I wanted to share a story.
We do have a little, but we also have questions here. So this one says, thank you for touching on oral contraceptive use. Too many young people are abusing this. I think you should explain that one. Is it the post pill or the combined oral contraceptive?
Both. In fact, the post pill is even more toxic because there's a high concentration of the estrogens. Yeah, so post pill, we are not talking about that today, but I want to put it out there. Please do not regularly use the Postinor 2 because it's for emergency. When something is wrong, you use it once in a while. Try to go to a family planning unit and get a type of contraceptive that will suit you. They'll show you different types and then you pick it up. If you want the orals, the injectables, they are all there. But to decide that you would always have sex and use the Postinor 2, you are injecting a lot of hormones in you. You'd end up having disrupted hormonal cycle, and then it ends up
giving you issues.
Yes,
okay, so this is another question. It says, I'm always late on Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I'm Mr. Robert Amankwa from Kumasi. My question is, are there any lifestyle changes I can make to reduce my risk? I think we mentioned that earlier.
So the risk factors are the opposite of the lifestyle changes. Like eating well, diet, vegetables, fruits, exercise, cutting off stress, resting, very important. Drinking a lot of water, also very important because it detoxifies you.
Okay. So can you share maybe it's implied, but if you can give us the importance of early diagnosis and the self-examination.
So, like I said, detecting it early is very important. So there was a study that was done in the Western world, where they surveyed 100,000 people from Asia and 100,000 people from Africa. So from Asia, they had, I think, 95 people were diagnosed with breast cancer, and from Africa, 25 were diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, you would now ask, how many people died after they were diagnosed? In Africa, it was 22 that died from the breast cancer. Yeah, the study. Yes. And in Asia, it was 3 out of the 95. Why would this happen? I think what's their motivation over there is the early detection. Because they are trained to be proactive about their health. Anything wrong, they go to the hospital. But would wait. Usually, studies have also shown that 70% of cases to Kolebu annually are advanced. That much cannot be done. we only end up having palliative care. Palliative care is like, you know, you are going to die, but we are helping you to become. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So you would look at, so the early detection is very important. Just that, so every woman needs a baseline breast scan. I prefer by 21, you should have had your first scan. You keep it in your record. After 22 or 23, another one. So there will be comparison. 26. So finally, eventually, if there's something picked up, it's picked up early.
Okay.
And then, like I said earlier, once picked up and treated, you are good to go. Then you'd wait. Some people, another thing I want to put out there is people go to prayer camps. Please, God gives wisdom to doctors to help you.
Say it again, oh.
There was this woman yesterday, I was with a breast cancer survivor. She's a nurse, detected a lump in her breast. And she went to the hospital, and then they said they had to do the surgery because it was the aggressive type of cancer. So they had to do the surgery for her within a short time. Before she had the surgery, she also went to pray. And God told her that he would heal her. He would heal her. But she eventually went for the surgery. And when she went for the surgery and she went to the recovery ward, she said she had a dream. And in the dream, she saw that she was on a trolley and there was normal saline on her. And she was actually going back and forth, but she could not see anyone around in the dream, in the recovery ward. The following day, she came to the hospital. She came to the doctors and nurses came, and then she now knew that what happened in the dream was that Jesus had given her chemotherapy.
Oh, wow.
So the same chemotherapy was given to her physically, but already the healing had taken place spiritually. You understand? So she combined God with medicine. She never said she wouldn't go for her surgery.
That was very smart.
She never said she wouldn't go, and she never rejected the medication because she had seen in a dream. So just allow God to use doctors to heal you.
Thank you so much for that. We need a lot of our mothers especially to actually emulate this story you just told us. So we have a few more questions. I even have my own personal question. Let me ask first. So how does breast cancer, what's the word? Is it contraindicates? I don't know. Along with underlying health conditions like arthritis, diabetes, kidney issues, or hypertension. When you get breast cancer, what happens when you have all those kinds of issues?
When you get breast cancer and you have underlying conditions like diabetes, hypertension, arthritis, which usually comes with aging, you know, breast cancer itself, your immune system is compromised because of chemotherapy. It suppresses the immune system, to kill the cancer cells. That alone aggravates your comorbidities or diseases that you already have. So you need exceptional attention by your doctors, more like direction to go to the hospital. Like you should go to the hospital as soon as possible when you see symptoms. So usually someone with breast cancer who is diabetic, your sugars have to be controlled. Hypertension, your BPs have to be controlled. Arthritis, you need to be going through some physio examination, exercise, and all those things that would help you. And you need to eat right. So normally, it's like the breast cancer comes to aggravate the other conditions that are there. Yeah, so I think on the whole, you need extra care. Yes, you need extra care.
I think we have a few more questions here. I'll just read them quickly. So this one says, Doctor, if you suck a breast with cancer, will you be affected?
No.
And then it says, Doctor, please, so this is Aman. He says, please, those who are doing breast surgery, if they get breast cancer, what are the consequences? Like the breast augmentations, those BBL things that have come up these days. Then, please, the checking of breast cancer, does NHIS cover it?
Yes. So the NHIS doesn't cover everything. It covers partially.
Okay.
So I think this is a word out to the government that breast cancer should be a condition where it should be covered fully by the NHIS. So now some drugs are covered, but not everything.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So the last question, this one, I think it's an important question that we can answer quickly before we wrap up. It says, hello, as you mentioned, the stages of breast cancer from stage stage 4. What is the time duration between the stages? Does it take, say, 3 months interval or some years interval? This is from Irama Ashoman Estates.
So usually there is no time frame. It's based on the type of cancer.
Okay.
Some cancers are aggressive. When diagnosed, within like a year, you are gone. Some can be there for 5 years. So I actually had this patient who was diagnosed with breast cancer. She didn't believe. She's a corporate client. She didn't believe and then went away 3 to 5 years, came back and was like, doctor, I think I'm ready to remove the. But when she came back, the lump was still
very small.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it means it was a slow
progression.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it depends. It's relative.
Okay. This conversation has not ended. Definitely not. So next week, Thursday, we will continue this conversation. I hope our doctor will be available. And we'll be talking about treatment options and management. Then we will go to survivorship and support. I know our women out there like to be communal and help each other. Then, of course, we will also talk about the research and awareness. So even as today's show has ended or is ending, it doesn't mean the conversation has ended. We will continue next week, Thursday, to talk more about breast cancer so that we can educate and inform you, as the policy of Clock TV always is. So thank you so much, Dr. Partey. We hope to see you next Thursday to talk more about the breast cancer. As we are in the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we will exhaust the month talking about breast cancer. And a big thank you also to you, our viewers. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for supporting the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. Thank you to our production team, our management, to our guests, everybody that's contributed to making this show a success. We hope that as you go through your day, you have a bright and beautiful day. Our motivational quote says we should spread love. So as you go through your day, please spread love and make sure you are also being loved. Thank you so much, and we will see you bright and early on Tuesday morning. Do have an enjoyable weekend ahead.
Clog TV.